What's going on, you guys? Welcome to episode 7. I think it's 7. Today, I'm gonna show you guys how to line up a beard and also how to fade down a beard. There are a lot of ways to line up a beard and there's a lot of ways to fade down a beard. A lot of people like the straight line and some people like the fade. Today, I'm gonna show you the fade and why I like it better than the straight line. My technique of lining up a beard and fading down a beard is pretty different. And I think it's a little bit harder than other people because I do a lot of freehand. I only go up to about a 1.5 and after that it's all freehand. Make sure you guys watch my other videos before you watch this one because the fading techniques are pretty much similar to how I do the haircut. In this video, I won't show you too much of the details. You guys gotta go check out the other videos and come back here later. If you guys already know what you're doing, check this video out. Alright, you guys, so this client right here has a number 1 with a skin taper. And you guys already saw the skin taper video and how to do that. And if you didn't, go back and watch that video before you watch this. A lot of barbers leave their client's beard lined like that. Usually, I don't like that because it's kind of like leaving a line out of nowhere. See how it doesn't look natural? I always like it when it's blend downward. So I'll show you that in a second, but always ask your client if they want their beard blended down or if they want a line like that. Most of the time, I find that clients never want a line like that. It's only rare that I see them do, and those are the time that they don't know what the blending looks like. For me, I always start with blending it down, and then I lined everything up. Start the blending, it's almost like doing a taper. I'm gonna open it first, and I'm gonna blend it down. I always hit this second part right here. So I always use the ear. This part of the ear, right below that, that's my first guideline. And I always leave the beard starting right here at the top part. So those are the spots that I'm always using as my guideline. Open my guard, start my guideline there, and I'm gonna blend that upward. Just like that, okay? And then everything in between, you're gonna play around with the lever and make sure you get that line out. So if you guys look at it right now, the top line is gone, but it kind of moved right here. And that's okay because we're gonna start blending it downward and that's usually how it works. This is the next guideline we gotta get rid of. My way of doing this, I always pop on a 1 and open it up. You don't have to do this exact same step, but you do have to blend it down. And the next guideline that I do would be underneath the earlobe. Just about there. Open 1, right about the earlobe. And then I'm gonna close it and it's gonna be a quick clean. That's it. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna grab my half guard and I'm gonna close it all the way, clean up that dark line on top, open it, and then clean up that bottom line a little bit. And then I'm gonna play around with the lever, making sure that it'll take out all the dark areas that I need it to. And if you guys need to, grab the 1 again and then blend it down some more. I'm still not going past the earlobe, as you can see. I'm still working above that. And now I'm just gonna go at the earlobe, but my lever's open. Remember the first guideline we did? Just about there, okay? Now I'm gonna open up the lever and go just a tiny bit more, and I'm gonna angle it down here. So it's gonna look like that. All right, you guys, so you guys see the next line is right there. Don't freak out. This next part will get rid of that line and it'll just blend everything in. If he had a longer beard, I would start doing clipper with comb. But since his beard is not that long, I'm just gonna use the 1.5 guard. First, I'm gonna close it to make sure that's gonna hit the hair and it's gonna cut them. For this part, you don't wanna go too low. You don't wanna go all the way down here. You just wanna keep it right there and use the corners because this guard is big and it's not going to be cutting all the hair. Also, be sure to comb down the hair. Okay, you see the difference already. Remember the last time we saw the line right here? This time it's blended down. This is even before we start lining up the hair at all. When you start lining up, you'll see it start popping out. Then you readjust anything else that needs to be blended. But for now, we're gonna leave it like that and we're gonna line up the rest. But first, we gotta do the other side. See how this side right here, there's that line? Do you see the difference between the two? I think the faded one looks way better. So we're gonna fast forward this part. When I'm about to lay the client down, I always have this headrest right where their neck is. Maybe just a tiny bit below, and then we're gonna adjust. So here is where I'm gonna start lining up the neckline down here. So if I have the client just rest his neck right on here, see how it's not too uncomfortable where I'm just leaving his neck hanging. He's resting on here, and I'm not gonna take it too long on down there. And the reason why I don't lay him back for this is because you want it to look as natural as possible, where he's almost like he's standing, right? You lay him down, his neck stretches, and then it starts looking different. Make sure everything is combed down before you even start. I always look at this Adam apple right here, and I'm gonna get the line right above it. So for him, it's right there. Okay, that's gonna be my guideline right there. So you looked at it right here, this is where we need to raise it up a little bit. This side, there's always one side of the beard that the hair lays differently. This side the hair goes up, and this one the hair goes down. So be careful not to take it too high. I'm always gonna start out with the higher side. So this side is the higher side right here. I'm gonna start on this side first. And then we're gonna go to the other side and bring that side up. Then after that, and then you clean up everything down here. Don't leave any hair down here, it's very important. Sometimes I would use the shaver down here, but always ask your client, because some clients don't want to shave down here. It irritates them and it grows bumps, so they don't want it to be shaved like that. So just leave it if they don't want it. Now we're gonna line up this upper part, and then we're gonna clean up the middle part. This part right here, I usually want it to be exactly the same width here. So we're gonna clean that up, and then we're gonna clean that up right there. So I'm gonna start from up here, and usually I want it to go straight here. Okay, and then once it gets to here, I want it to curve. And that's how I think the beard looks the best. Remember to let the blade do all the work. Don't push it, don't force it. All right guys, you just see this right here. This is the first pass. Don't just stop here. You see the line's already been made. Don't stop there. Always have a brush or a comb and brush all that gel off. And then you're gonna see the real line, and then you're gonna have to line it up and clean it up again. The second time cleaning up, you're only hitting 1 or 2 strands of hair. That's it. It really matters. Those 1 or 2 strands are very important. And then now I'm gonna tilt his head on this side. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean up the back line. Hold the ear, stretch it out that way. Always stretch the skin. And you're gonna hit the straight razor this way. You guys always go back to the front and double check. Make sure both sides are even. You don't want the client to leave one side higher than the other. This side I can see that's a tiny bit higher, so I'm gonna lower it just a little bit. For this next part, this part right here, it's a little bit tricky because the skin goes in and how the chin comes out. What I do for this part is I ask the client to push his tongue and push this part out, and it makes things a lot easier. For example, if you can push this part out for me, just like that. You see how that pushes it out? And then now I can just go in without really stretching much, clean up that area. Very lightly, because this spot is very sensitive. So you don't want to go too hard. This spot, really just let the blade slide. And depending on the client, some clients wants it round, some client wants it square, this client wants it round. After you do that side, go on the other side and ask them to push out this side. Push out the middle just a little bit. Hey, I hope you guys found that useful. Lining up a beard can be very intimidating, especially nowadays, because a lot of people find a beard probably the most important thing they have. So make sure you get it to exactly what they want. If you don't know where, just ask them. Don't just line it up and then show them at the end and so here you go, this is your beard, and it turns out to be nothing like they wanted. So make sure you show them the beard, make sure you show them where they want the lineup, and letting your customer feel very comfortable. Make sure you guys practice, watch a lot of videos, and if you want to rewatch this video, if you guys have any questions, leave it in the comment below and I'll talk to you guys somewhere there. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Thank you.